Hello， 各位大家好，我是小俊，欢迎各位在每个礼拜2、4、6的晚上8点来看我们的直播。礼拜4不好意思啦，因为带家人出去处理事情，所以那个时候没有直播到。那我们今天就来开一个新的游戏，这个游戏很久了啦，但是算是在我们这个频道里面第一次直播的新游戏，叫做不予播出 notforbroadcast。 这一款游戏呢，是我看过最该怎么讲呢？它这个游戏真的它是属于一个，它有点类似属于的一个叫做是你是一个角色扮演的游戏，然后你角色扮演角色是一个叫做导播的一个游戏，所以我们等等来看一下这个游戏到底是在做什么。这游戏很早就出了，在5年前2020年就已经出了，然后我们到现在才开这个直播，所以像有些人有看过这个游戏，有些人没有看过这个游戏。那我们今天就来看看这一款，这叫 notforbroadcast 这一款不予播出这款游戏到底里面的故事到底在讲些什么，这样子我们就来看一下好了。那事不宜迟，赶快来开始我们今天的这个直播。那如果各位喜欢我们这一天的影片呢，不要忘了就是按赞订阅，也不要忘了打开小铃铛，才不会错过我们所有的游戏通知。事不宜迟，赶快来开始我们的游戏吧 ，Let's go！ 我先把这个音量打开哦。好，这个游戏它有中文版，然后它是以字幕来讲的话是简体中文，这个游戏目前是没有繁体中文的。然后再加上它有因为它这个是讲英文的嘛，它这个是全部真人影片，是讲英文的，然后它也有中文配音，也有西班牙文配音这样子。那我本身还是会比较偏向是原音啦，所以这个游戏的部分我会搭配的是英文的语音，再加上就是中文的字幕这样子。那当然游戏里面它虽然是中文字幕，这应该说它有中文的字，但是然后在游玩过程中你都还是可以看到字幕，所以大概可以看到说这游戏里面到底讲什么。那我们来播放。好，那就是活动，输入游戏名，所以我就来输入我的小俊，继续故事模式。看一下这里面是广播主持人。我把这个玩这个他们这个建议的难易度好，这应该是难易度模式啦。那我们来玩这个建议的难易度游戏。好，我主持人。
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
第一天选举，右转，按 D， 接电话什么？接听电话。
Hi David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, now I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're gonna have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm gonna stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again. You should be getting a signal from the studio soon.
哇塞，直接直播了。
Select screen one with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist, going in 5, 4.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next is going to be to throw the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Bunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic...
Right, button 2 in 3, 2, 1. Lovely, mate. Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
你看那个第一个镜头就是补妆，很想接过去呀。
Here it comes. Switch to screen 1. Now. Lovely, mate.
The votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance.
We often get a bit of interference around this time, mate. Keep your eye on the machine at the bottom right. Use that slider that's flashing or your scroll wheel to move the wave up and down, keeping the green bit in the white bit.
But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary...
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
To hear the co-leaders' acceptance.
And 3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody. Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late. Oh, I thought I'd ask him about the election.
Personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you. I thought that was our little secret. It's all right, he doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Me too.
Yeah.
Wicked. We made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking.
镜头时间不要超过10秒，特写镜头不要超过3秒。
You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance, but first
Get ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
is here with the star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his name.
By none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The Medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction.
He's a wonderful
Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
I worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all else. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but obviously who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
Oh, that is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire, the little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result, indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, that one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
Right, they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look. Exciting stuff.
Cool, looks like Blunderclatch is losing it in the studio, but we ain't got time for that. There's more interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Use that little flashing joystick to the left of the knob, or hold down your middle mouse or Alt on your keyboard, and as the frequency changes, match it to the white bit by dragging right.
You think I do didn't listen.
Doctor,
I'm drowning, Lance, she said.
you need to see this.
No, don't you?
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the key.
It's still
这跑太快了，
Perfect, mate.
跑太快了。
We have to ask ourselves.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
10、9、8、7、6、5、4、3、2。
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button, or the spacebar on your keyboard, for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you've got to do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down. Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Seriously?
Tadworth. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advance Headquarters, where the 2 leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Oh shit, he's pissed. Get ready to bleep.
Go for it, Pat.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we couldn't do
They
it.
certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying, southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people,
Nice.
you saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. Makes me coarser than the grandest fanny.
Memorably put.
Nailed it.
But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day 1 of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know the sort of, probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay off. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. to properly fund health and education, to raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions, but you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats,
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs, the people whose children you raise.
so they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been, in the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again, just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance, and our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
Boring politics then.
This is some weird
什么意思？
Am I
把这个导播的工作交给我，
Be so lucky.
船要开了，不会回来了，什么鬼？
Got a date.
lucky you? Try not to get murdered.
Your collection week by week and very soon
挑战是已结束。
that really gets the lunchroom talking.
When the programme's finished, you'll get a broadcast report. It's 3 pages. This first page shows you how well the broadcast went, each sequence and an overall grade. Remember, grades mean bonuses and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page. Right, this is an optional section for when you really want to understand what happened during the show. You've got a graph here showing you what the audience did. They're a fickle fucking bunch. And of course you can really drill into the details if you want to get better at making TV. I never came here, never once. Right, this is the important page. It tells you how much you're going to get paid and how much wealth you have overall. That bollocks at the bottom shows you the financial state of our main advertisers. But you don't own any fucking shares, you're a cleaner for God's sake, so why would you care? This is the last page and it tells you the state of the world, tells you how well the government's doing, and down the bottom there, this one's important, tells you what Channel 1 currently thinks of you. In other words, what the boss thinks. Alright mate, welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections, broadcast, rushes and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Click on it now. Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Click on any one of them and hit load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
Well, in a few moments, we'll be going live to tonight's National Nightly News. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on tonight on Channel 1. At 7 o'clock,
看这个可以
it's the
来
semi-final of the quotation
重播一
show.
下我们
And it's
刚
a
才
nail-biting quiz tonight,
在
as the team
导
of
的
nuclear
这个影
physicists
片
take
的
on
结
4 old
就是导的这
ladies.
个片段的结果。
That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the knee-length sock and its importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871. Not one to miss. At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom of Being Colin, taking us all the way up to 11:15, where, as usual, Dr. Adrian Atkinson-Blimey will be grilling his guests in Incisors, and tonight sees a return for leading economist Katie Brightman. Finally, at midnight, it's the National Weather Report, before we say good night until tomorrow. But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson for the National Nightly News.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. Moving on up, the election win that experts said just couldn't happen. Hopeful or hostile? Controversy as global mega corporation Remington's Fist buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic victory. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News. But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance. The landslide victory, with an astonishing 81% of the popular vote, is the biggest election win in living memory. Advance appealed to voters up and down the country with their bold promises of permanent change, but critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary Geoffrey Jeffries has issued a statement in which he comments that we have all been seduced by the shiny wrapping paper, but have yet to see the contents of the box. Sounds like sour grapes to me, Jeff. After the break, Megan Wolf will be speaking to a man whose grapes certainly aren't sour, the international heartthrob and inexplicable box office sensation that is Lawrence Blunderclatch. And later in the program, we'll be going live to Advance HQ to hear the co-leader's acceptance speech. That's all coming up after the break.
I'm Alan James. This is not a movie. This is not some child's tale. This is not a dream. This is reality. This is the story of you and how you're stupid and asleep. It's about how you were promised the Elysian fields, but you ended up filleting Satan for the salty crumbs. It's happening here. It's happening now. And it's all happening right in front of you. I'm Alan James.
Alan James is one of the country's most controversial columnists and speakers.
And they're going to take your poor sweet grandma, and you're never going to see those dribbling dentures again. Oh, grandma, look at their faces. That's not what cows look like. You call it the stock market. I call it the stuck market, because it's just another pole they've stuck up our collective... I don't care if he was once your nephew, Cameron. He's standing in the way of the truth.
Now, Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, is coming to your city.
I'm Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, the gospel according to Alan James, and the Alan James shall set you free. And now I'm bringing my message directly to you with my new nationwide tour, Alan James is Right, in front of you.
Alan James.
I'm Alan James.
Alan James.
Alan James is Right.
Alan James.
I'm Alan James.
Coming to a city near you. Check local press for dates and times.
傻眼。
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance, but first our very own culture reporter Megan Wolf is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare to the Shotbot films. I'm very excited to be joined today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear. I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among the greatest joys of my life.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Bless you.
So you've just finished filming your latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The Medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Wrap, that's Peter Jensen, the director. Do you know him? He's a wonderful chap, he really is. I've worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but obviously who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
Oh, that is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire, the little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed, historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not up.
Yes.
他那个消音的效果。
Well, Lawrence, I believe you brought in a clip from The Medicated, which opens next week.
对，他那个消音的效果做的太……对，你最后做出来结果是有消音的。
Not
Yes. Well.
Sorry, I said I'm really apologize.
Well,
Sorry.
Lawrence, I believe you brought in a clip from The Medicated, which opens next week around the country. Lawrence, do tell us what's going on here.
I'd be delighted. This is a really pivotal scene where my character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
I don't understand it.
Doctor.
I don't understand it.
It's not your fault.
You think I don't know that?
Nolans mustn't think of Carol.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
I did it for you, baby. All for you.
Dr. Hemlock.
We're gonna change the world, do you remember? If only I listened to you.
Dr. Hemlock.
You told me, but I didn't listen.
Doctor.
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
You need to see this.
No, it's all too late.
Look at this!
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the key.
We could stop it all.
Yes, we could stop it all!
We have to ask ourselves
if we should.
真的想扪心自问，问一个自己说：干，这到底演什么鬼啊？
Hi, I'm world-class sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves, and I'm not fat, but you are.
Don't worry, ladies. Now you can have me, Johnny Hamsley, right there in your lounge.
Johnny!
Match day, happy day. Me and the lads are playing away.
I'll take you through a proper match day workout with my two cracking assistants. Who knows, within a few weeks, you could be as fit as them.
What a day, in the coach cruising down the motorway. Match day, Saturday, finished with the handshakes and we're ready to play.
Did you know that fat people are less likely to laugh, marry, or live past the age of 26? These potentially true statistics are all terrifying reasons why you need to pop a bit of Johnny in your VHS slot.
Getting me a penalty. In the goal, you gotta get it in the goal. Kick the...
Every exercise is recommended by sports professionals and is 72% likely to get rid of those tricky tummies and cruel cellulite.
Match time, halfway line, waiting for the whistle. So
Get match fit!
With Johnny Hamsley.
Team time, hair dryer treatment.
Welcome back, and I'm told we can now go live to Advance Headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Shall I start?
Go for it, Pat.
Okay, well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day!
They said we couldn't do it.
They certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying southern prick they had against us, but you, the people, you saw right through their.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. Makes me coarser than a granny's.
Memorably put. But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know the sort of, probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So all you public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shit. So to you posh
people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs, the people whose children you raise.
So they've got time to get even richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been, in the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again, just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get p***.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance, and our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully, we've got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Celebrate the classic age of salad with this exquisite limited edition collection. My Salad Weekly. Sign up now and every week we'll send
这个这些这就是刚才玩的嘛，对不对？
Click on rushes and let's have a look at those. Right, this is the rushes room. It's pretty simple. The 4 screens you can see, they're going to show you the 4 signals you got from the studio during the actual broadcast. Difference is you can mute any combination of them, so you can have a listen to the stuff you weren't allowed to show. Select the broadcast and give it a go. And when you're done listening to the backstage secrets, hit back.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, seafood makes me come out in posture.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. Moving on up, the election win that experts said just couldn't happen. Hopeful or hostile. Controversy as global mega corporation Remington's Fist.
这个是可以看广告的，所有的广告，然后样片就是可以看当时的那个这支影片的退出。
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm
挑战室。 播放活动继续。我刚按继续才对，我按错了。天数2，天数3，意外来信。现有财富穷光蛋一个。你到家后发现垫子上有个信件，大多数都是平日里经常收到的垃圾信件，但是有一封吸引到了你，吸引了你的注意。团队想要了解你，你十分好奇，于是便打开了它。这是一份来自新先进党政府的表格，他们想获取所有公民的信息。第一页已经填好了，姓名艾利克斯·温斯顿，配偶山姆·温斯顿，子女查尔斯·温斯顿14岁和苏西·温斯顿19岁。你在心里默默道：“好吧，至少他们有这项基本权利。”剩下的问题需要你来完成，貌似都是必填选项。第一题，在开始一份新的工作时，你会1. 热情友好，向金同事介绍自己；2. 工作高效，立马投入工作中；3. 轻松自在，使自己适应新的工作环境；4. 与朋友回忆之前的工作。第二题，另一个部门的同事向你透露，他们一直把机密信息带回家，现在一份次要文件弄丢了，你会1. 帮你的同事掩盖他们的违规行为；2. 劝你的同事上报这件事情；3. 向你的同事保证不告诉任何人；4. 立刻向你的主管上报这一项违规行为。第三题，今天有个部门的全体员工都被开除了，但是因为他们一直都表现不佳， 你的老板制定了新的目标，这些目标比之前还要高很多。你会一按时下班，二加班到很晚，确保赶上第一个截止日期，三早下班前往酒吧与同事吐槽这些变化，四早下班回家陪伴家人。第4题，每一年一度的烧烤聚会马上就要到了，你和你的家人都收到了邀请，你会一期待与朋友和家人在户外度过美好的一天，二在聚会当天洗头，三有空就去，错过了也没关系，四一直和同事一起练习，想要赢得今年的才艺大赛。哇哦，好难选哦，好难选哦。第5题，你度过了漫长并且成功的职业生涯，现在马上要退休了。在退休的演讲中，你一列出你的成就和工作期间所留下的所有美好回忆，二沉浸地总结公司的沉浸的总结公司的利弊，三重点讲述工作期间所遇到的问题和挑战，四拒绝参加。第6题，闲暇之时，你一喜欢一个人轻松听音乐或制作模型，二参加政治集会并坚持你的信仰，三鼓励和支持你的孩子培养爱好，四加入当地的球队，七你理想的假期生活是：一沉浸在自然美景中，摆脱日常工作和压力；二探索未知的地方，发现新体验，迎接新挑战；三在主题公园度过充实的一天，与家人一起体验它是惊险刺激，探索各个景点；四与伴侣到热带岛屿天堂来一场浪漫之旅。我会选择这个。第8题，对政府来说，最重要的是确保公民的：一安全，二自由，三幸福，四平等。感谢您的配合，先进党知道您的时间十分宝贵，感谢您为带领这个国家走向更好、更美好的未来尽一份心力，然后要签名。第6天家事，天色已晚，山姆的孩子都上床了，你正在插你最喜欢的咖啡杯，这是你们第一次旅行的纪念品。现在这个杯子已经旧了，上面的图案也已经褪色，但看到这张傻乎乎的面庞，你还是扬起了嘴角。然后你敲窗户，然后再来就是听到敲窗户的声音，把你拉回了现实。敲敲敲，是山姆的妹妹克里斯，她提着一个美丽的荧光绿手提箱，站在花园里。一进到屋里，她便坐在餐桌旁，看起来很紧张。而爱丽丝深吸一口气，抱歉这么晚过来，艾利克斯。爱丽丝，抱歉这么晚过来，艾利克斯。爱丽丝结结巴巴地说道：“但是，我需要你帮我一个忙，只有你能帮我。” 你还好吗？要不要我去把山姆叫醒？不，别再叫山姆了，是我来找你的，我只要2分钟，2分钟。你有听说过资产与财富法案吗？我不是很了解，我只是略有耳闻而已。爱丽丝面色难看，他们要用人的血汗钱来资助这些懒人们。我不是说收入排在前1%的人或其他人没有这些闲钱。艾利克斯急忙的补充道说，他们付得起，可是像我们这样的人，我们会变得一无所有的，所以我来你们家了。好吧，所以你到底要什么？爱丽丝的眼睛一动也不动的盯着地上转，说：“听着，我知道这样有点过分，但是我想借用你的护照。”啊？我的护照？你要干嘛？他们把我还有这个国家这个该死的国家1半的人的护照都收走了。不过人们经常说你长得跟我很像，所以艾利克斯开始了踱步。在为时已晚之前，我得离开这。等我离境之后，我和我的钱都是安全的。但在他们冻结我的账户之前，我现在就得赶快离开。求你了，如果我有别的办法，我就不会来求你了。我想一定还有别的办法，根本不会到这么严重，好吗？爱丽丝很惊讶地说：“你在开玩笑的，对吧？我一直对您和山姆都很不错，我是你们的孩子，我是你们孩子如己出，我们是一家人，对吧？这对你来讲毫无意义吗？”爱丽丝，听我讲一下，这是违反的，我这个不能帮你啊。没事，我自己想办法。你就是这样子对待家人的事吗？切！爱丽丝呸了一声，抓起最近的荧光色的手提箱，消失在黑夜里。你回去继续洗碗。重新拿起了山姆的杯子，就在这张褪色的脸孔中，似乎要穿透你的心。你没信咒。第8天，后果篇。What the fuck are you doing there?
That's better. Let's get set up and get on with it, eh? So I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on.
Okay.
You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts.
Adverts?
You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they?
开始播报前，你要写起来，这个是正常的吗？什么意思？放这个会有怎么样的状况吗？想一下哦。
You can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. these two buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them. And they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully. And we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the Assets and Wealth Act on the brink of raising living standards for the vast majority of the country, I'll be asking my guests if we're on the way to a new future. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehearts. Sophia promises it will be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg and Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen here with socialite and performance artiste Tiffany Lamore, whose recent show, Snatched Inside My Snatch, has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? And grievous bodily charm. With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police and less oversight, are we using an Advance-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that and mega more for the group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News. In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised, but what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiates. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals, they're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
No, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them, then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
We'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately, I can't understand it for you.
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
Tell you, how's it going? Actually, fuck it, I don't care. I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. All right, mate, see you later, bye.
That's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody.
If that sticks, I'll destroy you.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desk.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. No, the problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Honorary Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that...
Oh my God!
Jeremy, your bloody gimps escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh my God.
Sorry, darling, I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in the box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday. Back in your gimp space.
And whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people
Darling,
of this...
where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty, naughty, naughty boy. Mummy said...
Clive, I am not having this again.
Mummy said get back. Oh, God. Naughty, you beast, Clive.
As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on the And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary and menacing a squad. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Hey! Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalization, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Hey! Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony! Hey! I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Soapy!
I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris,
oi, oi.
Little Chris, oi, oi. And Vampire Chris.
This one's, yeah?
Yep.
One sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news.
Oh my God.
Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
Open!
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
Open! You are joking. Chrissy Free Bollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh? Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
Little boy.
Oh, I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here. Jesus.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal there, Tony.
Fucking way, las bolitas!
I think we... Yes, Tony? Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How does this happen, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there a little. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to gain a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will be live with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back, everybody. That went well.
Mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the vision mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip. When the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
Well, where is it? In the dressing room, banging his head against the wall. Look, it's alright, I've got this. I'm sure he's on his way. Come on, it's welcome back. How hard can it be? What's this on you? 10 seconds, everybody. Good, open on Megan. Camera 2.
Camera
Going
2?
in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome to Black, I'm Megan Wolf, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest. I'm the older, more popular one. Only joking.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Oh, right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history, Aristotle.
I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like, maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grants?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
How? How did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then, Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly, but we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go with this whole democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Tears. Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi Gary.
Oh heavens no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist!
Going somewhere, little first year?
Great! I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning, but will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Violent father. Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject, and so important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going, for fuck's sake!
Right, maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? My arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I, Gary the Fist. And you're just a sad little girl with two gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my two new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah. And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all three of you, and I don't have any friends of my own.
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be pretty cheeky if you work as a team.
It's my choice to remain. So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Hey, listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your frou-frou laps. I'm a mother-loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist, but that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum, and for dinner he had to wait. Oh, where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Oh, where's my dinner, woman?
Go.
Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes! Oh, oh, oh.
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Dalton. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant!
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
Adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
马拉松式电视节目已结束。现有财富变成负债累累。我看那个所谓的什么马拉松式的，那是什么意思？我来看一下。你已解锁用户身份。马拉松式电视，这个等等再来看，我们来继续他的主线故事。先把他主线故事解完，我们再去后面再去慢慢打他其他的这个。对，天数15，深夜，长时间的轮班结束后，你回到家中。在工作台上找到了一张写给你的便条，你认出了山姆充满显笑的潦草笔记。克里斯因为付租金而被赶了出来，而你知道这是怎么回事。山姆去街上取克里斯的东西了，不用等我，强调了2次，就是在怪你了。你闷闷不乐的按下那部廉价恐怖电影的播放按钮。本来你们俩打算一起看的。你在小的时候，这部影片吓到过你，但你俩看的时候总是很欢乐。但是山姆不在，气氛就不一样了。但你不时还是会呵呵傻笑。直到你看到这一部分，坎蒂决定独自检查时，你14岁的儿子打断了你。他想去朋友家，他用只有小孩子才有的眼神看着你，既有进球之意，又带着那些又带了些许的挑拌。于是你同意他去，但他要答应你在11点之前回家。他显然很惊讶，几乎是夺门而出。你在电视前打盹，等他回来。电视的静电声把你给吵醒，已经是午夜了，但是没见到查理和山姆的踪影。不行，他明天还要上学，况且他还做了保证。于是你便动身去叫他回家。到了他朋友家之后，你找到了自己的儿子。一见到你， 他下意识地看了时间，他可能把你当作3岁，把你当着3岁小孩，但至少跟你道歉了，太好了。你见过这种顽皮淘气的表情，这次你又忍不住地放了他一马。第48天，紧张的圣诞节。你环顾餐桌，不禁笑了起来。屋外草地上覆盖了一层白云、白雪，孩子们在拉圣诞炮竹。你年迈的母亲在努力的让自己保持清醒。一直以来，你都很喜欢圣诞节，而现在你坐在桌子的主位，以往都是你的爸爸坐在这里。而今天下午的气氛很紧张，大家都感觉到了。自从你拒绝把护照交给克里斯之后，这是你第一次见他。这对山姆来说是一个很大的变化。以前他们兄妹俩一直亲密无间，而圣诞节往往是一年中如此美好的时光。你只听到了餐具的碰撞声，克里斯直勾勾地盯着你。今年圣诞节过得开心吗，外婆？你的母亲茫然地看着你，不知所措。她开始清醒过来。开心啊，谢谢你啊，艾利克斯，我很开心。她低声地说道。而最近他清洗的次数也越来越多了。你只听到餐具的碰撞声，克里斯汀直勾勾地盯着你，而你开始敬酒。你站了起来，举起了杯子，祝大家圣诞快乐，很高兴我们都在。屋子里充满干杯声的杯子碰撞声，而克里斯没有动。是的，我们都在，这次还要感谢你。山姆再次叹了口气。克里斯，别这样，今天是圣诞节，我们难道不能把这件事情抛在脑后吗？山姆说的对，我们享受当下吧。克里斯不再盯着你，对着一块便宜的烤鸭肉发泄的他心中的不满。你的女儿苏西抓住这个机会跟你说道：“你知道你有多爱我吗？”你呵呵的笑了出来，这话听起来有点耳熟。不对，我怎么有种不好的预感呢？你开玩笑的说。苏西翻起了白眼。你知道吗？今年我和我的朋友计划去旅行。苏西用无辜的眼神看着你，开始说道：“我希望你能资助我一下。”克里斯突然嘲讽了，恨了一声，打断了苏西的话。哼！别痴心妄想了，苏西。艾利克斯没那么大方，不是吗？克里斯，求你别说了。你知道吗？我们长话短说吧。克里斯吐出了口吐沫，朝门口走去。抱歉，孩子们。山姆站了起来。干得好啊，艾利克斯，真的很好哈。而跟着克里斯甩门而去。几分钟过去了，没有人说话。屋子里静得可怕，你嘴里的廉价蔬菜罐头 有点苦涩，时钟播出报时声。你只意识到自己嘴里塞满了胡萝卜，而且已经嚼了10分钟左右。你的女儿开始告诉他，今年的计划你心里很感激。我们要游览世界上许多地方的美景，学习其他国家和地区的文化。你有这么多钱吗？这是问题。我本来是想让你们资助我一下。舒淇不好意思的承认道，紧张的抓起了这个耳绕塞。你叹了口气，叹低声令说道：我知道我们家根本不龌龊，现在外婆又来了，我们没有那么多闲钱。舒淇，求你了，哈利特的父母就是在帮他啊。好吧，没关系，我们一起来想办法。舒淇笑得合不拢嘴。你是认真的吗？太好了，谢谢你，谢谢你，谢谢你。他紧紧抱着你，然后和他的弟弟拉响了一个圣诞炮竹。他们的外婆满脸自豪地看着他们。你试着不去想如何为这次的旅游筹钱。圣诞快乐，亲爱的。你能说的只有这么多。第63天，意外收获。你正在翻阅那些信件，心脏单压得你喘不过气来。当看到一抹蓝色一闪而过时，你停了下来。信上是先进党的绿色标志，你撕开了它。亲爱的温斯顿一家，感谢你们将护照寄给我们进行审批。现在我们可以确认已经收到了这些护照，并且护照都符合新资产与财富重新分配计划的条件。上个月我和山姆进行了多次争论，希望一切都是值得的。因此紧随函附上支票一张，希望你们能将情作为一种标志，不仅代表着我们对你们的感激之情，而且是我们对创建一个平等社会的坚定承诺。感受到刚刚因快速翻阅而被纸张割伤的疼痛，你才相信自己不是在做梦。一张支票，而且还是大额的。克里斯说的对，先进党真的在重新分配财富。我们将继续为国家和人民的福祉而奋斗，携手前行。茱莉亚·索尔兹伯里和彼得·克莱门特。你的经济负担略有减轻，太幸福了。第72天，长周末。为什么这个孩子死箱子的拉链总是拉不上？今天是你们的结婚纪念日。每年你和山姆都会外出度过这个周末，大多数都是去露营，因为你们的生活过得很拮据。你们已经期待了很久，终于有时间可以独处，忘记生活的喧嚣了。没有孩子，没有工作，只有浪漫的情景。拉莲终于放弃了挣扎， 你把塞得鼓鼓囊囊的手提箱拖到楼下，而玄关桌子上的答录机一闪一闪的。晚上好，晚上好，艾利克斯，我是博士曼先生。我打电话是要通知你，你这个周末你要加班。你的心一沉。我们得到消息，我国跟外国势力的关系日益紧张，国家晚间新闻团队必须分秒必须争分夺秒，确保抢先报道这个新闻。别的不说了，希望你明天早上8点能够准时到单位。祝你度过个愉愉快快的夜晚，艾利克斯。你先是震惊，然后是苦恼，最后是愤怒。你打算怎么跟山姆说呢？你的爱人来到楼下，满脸兴奋。山姆吻了你一下，抓起盘子里的车钥匙，开始把你们的行李装到后车厢。但是你不停地向你的爱人道歉，但你必须去工作。博斯曼的脾气可是出了名的臭。你叹了一口气，你要去单位对吗？听到背后的声音，你猛回头，你点了点头。你当然会去，让你把家庭放在第一位，根本就是奢望。上帝保佑，我根本不知道我自己为什么会苦恼。艾利克斯，我真的不知道。说完了之后，山姆便离开了，而前门在一片寂寞中微微晃动。第98天同意书。离读传单的时候，你的儿子查理在你的身边转悠。你正在努力实现目标吗？你在团队里表现得很活跃吗？你喜欢收获合作的果实吗？快来加入先进党进取者吧，携手前行。听起来不像是他跟你说过的青年俱乐部耶。查理从你的手里接过传单，把一张表格塞到了你手里。我可以直接从学校走到那里。之后本的姐姐会把我们载回家，所以你什么都不用做。于是你同意在上面签字，同意你的儿子加入先进党进取者。你的儿子很兴奋，看到他这么热情的想要成为社区的积极分子，你感到很欣慰。你认为这是件好事。第101天免费票，同事给我的，他们没办法去了。山姆解释道，手里挥舞着2张票。你看到出题的标题：艾伦·詹姆斯，真知灼见，前方之路。我不是很确定，你觉得呢？我们应该去吗？免费票，不去白不去啦。他是个有趣的人，即使没有别的，也一定是很搞笑。节目还不错，但远没有你想象中的那么有趣。他是一位很有影响力的公众演说家，有些台词给你留下了很深刻的印象。当天晚上，山姆睡着之后，你躺在床上好大一会都没有睡着。那些话一直在你脑海里不停的回荡，真的是太吵了。而你没有笑，而是咆哮了起来。第110天 利益伙伴关系。经过一天特别漫长的工作后，你回到家，发现信件里被分成了几堆。萨姆最近经常这么做，大多数都是平日里经常收到的垃圾信件，但有一封信吸引了你的注意，上面印着你日渐熟悉的先进党徽标，正面用紧急的红字写着急件，请立刻回复。而你认为最好赶紧看看里面到底是写了什么东西。亲爱的温斯顿一家，先进党政府在争取平等的战斗中又迈出了一步，特此函告，实现大型民营企业的国有化，并加强资源重新分配给这个伟大的国家的公民们。合作盟约计划确保人民创造的财富归人民所有。但是你不记得宣言里面有这一条？先进党精心挑了3家机构，每户家庭都将成为其中一家的合作伙伴，以实现一致的高性能和财务安全。请注意，所有回报均基于民意，无法进行保证。以下方法请从下方选择一家机构：1. EOB 股份有限公司。旁观者清，无论是化妆品、服装还是时装，我们都能发现每位顾客上面的美。2. 尼尔交易有限公司。疯狂尼尔廉价好货。3. 娱乐公司。我的目的是让你打造娱乐，从运动到旅行，从悠闲时光，没有休闲，何谈快乐？哇哦！哇哦！我选这个好了。谢谢您的选择。其实我们提供的信封我们的信封寄回词表格，您将在3到6个工作天内收到合伙企业的报告。看起来先进党无法挣脱政府官僚主义的泥潭啊！国家的未来建立在合作之上，携手前行。茱莉亚·索尔兹伯里和彼得·克莱门特，让我看看你有多大的影响力。第153天，风波篇，又是电话。
Good evening, Alex. It's Bozeman here, your boss. While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other 2, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot. Have a great show. Total pimp. My God, that weather looks nasty.
Why are all men such pricks?
That well,
Apparently he has a complicated relationship with his face.
他刚说这个政府要发第2个是不是？
I don't know why I talked to you. The problem is a really awful date.
10 seconds, everybody. Like I said, all of you.
Did your personality accidentally slip out?
Correct. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
Critics have been quick to dismiss the graffiti as a publicity stunt, or an act of frustration by a tiny disorganized group of those who will never, under any circumstances, be content.
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering two possible options.
With two of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
While both options are still on the table, support seems to be growing for a daring escape attempt. If a group of fungus experts can't fix the most advanced craft ever conceived by man, then who can?
Bearing their opinions, the formerly rich are fighting back with a naked protest.
Our very own Robin Short was on hand earlier today when this new protest group first presented themselves.
It might seem amazing, but clearly this formerly overprivileged section of our society is not adjusting well to the near future. It's often too easy to forget that not every citizen is thriving under advance.
Table for two. Johnny Hamsleaves and Tiffany Lamour were spotted having a private moment out at lunch today.
The popular couple have certainly been on a roller coaster since they started dating late last year, and this image is sure to place them firmly back in the tabloids.
Johnny's secretive hospital visits have had the rumour mill churning. I think it's safe to say that they're not looking at his school report.
Is this once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sport?
And onwards and upwards. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a brand new product that already has the markets buzzing with interest.
This groundbreaking product came as quite a shock when it was revealed earlier today, though its critics are sceptical that the young CEO can fulfill her promises.
Described as a breakthrough far ahead of its time, the male contraceptive pill is heralding a sexual revolution. Its fans are celebrating the fact that men can finally take equal responsibility for contraception, but others have expressed concerns over its safety and side effects.
With that exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later,
and our very own Patrick Bannon coming to you live from the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
First tonight, after the Christmas horror caused by Mr. Snugglehugs, we have an exclusive interview with one of the victims.
Poor 7-year-old Timmy Tadlock, like so many of those affected by the Christmas bloodbath, has spent the last 3 months undergoing a series of reconstructive facial surgeries.
Last week, joyfully, he spoke for the first time since the tragedy. Tonight, he talks to us.
Before we go to the interview, however, this station would like to issue a full and frank apology for any part we may have played in the tragedy. We should never have advertised Mr. Snugglehugs. Without our publicity, the sheer scale of this tragedy, now upwards of 8,000 casualties, might have been averted.
On behalf of the Nightly News team, we're sorry.
In future, we will do better.
Now it's over to Robin Short at the Tadlock family home. Robin?
Thank you, Megan. I'm here with Mr. and Mrs. Tadlock and their 7-year-old son, Timothy. Thanks for spending time with us today.
Yes, well, you're bloody lucky we're spending any time with you at all, after what you lot did. Irresponsible. I mean, whose idea was this anyway?
It's all right. It wasn't your fault. As you can see, Megan, there's still a few open wounds here. I'll tread carefully. I'm going to speak to Timmy now. Hello, Timmy. Can you see me?
Mummy? Who's that lady?
It's the lady from television, Timothy. She's going to ask you a few questions.
And you be careful now, it upsets him to remember.
Don't worry, Mr. Tadlock. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason. So, Timmy, can you tell us what happened to you? You had just unwrapped Mr. Snugglehugs, hadn't you? Was he under the tree?
Yes, I could smell him already. He smelled like love.
Ah, yes, that'll be the fur. It's scented with hoof.
I was so excited. I ran up to my room and gave him a big hug. He was so soft and warm, like our cat, before he got in the way of Daddy's Porsche.
Bloody cat had a death wish.
And what did Mr. Snugglehugs say to you?
He blinked his real action eyes and said, "You're my very best friend." but I sure wish Mrs. Snugglehugs was here, and she can't be for just $89.99. And then it's the General Air 41.
And is that when he burst into flames?
Look, careful.
And then he exploded.
Oh, look, I've asked you nicely.
And am I right in saying that one of his real action eyes is now permanently embedded in your cheek?
Yes. When I took him in at night, it glows through bandages. I know it's under there.
Staring at me.
Yeah, some of the other children have started calling him Timmy Three Eyes. And with his glasses, that's 5.
It's too many eyes, Robin.
And what's the last thing you remember before the darkness overtook you?
He looked at me with his one eye and laughed. Laughed as he burned.
It sounds very traumatic.
Oh.
Do you have nightmares?
All right, that's quite enough of you two coming in here with your camera trying to make a buck out of our suffering. I won't have it.
Mr. Taggart, just a couple more questions. Timmy, do you think you will ever be what we can call
No, you've
normal
had your questions,
again?
and now look. Oh, you've made him cry with all 3 of his eyes.
Calm down, you're
Do you think your parents will ever really love you again?
Right, that's it. Enough. Come on, babe. Come on.
Mr.
No, your poster, your favourite.
Oh my god.
So there you have it, Megan. Just one of the many
Oh my god.
indescribable tragedy that has shaken our nation.
I'm bleeding, am I not?
Thank you, Robin. Harrowing stuff.
And many questions to be answered by Sophia Remington in the coming days and months, I'd wager. How will she turn this crisis around?
So, Jeremy, what are the warning signs a consumer should look out for when they're spotting a dangerous toy?
Well, Megan, experts advise to always check for the new advanced mark, which guarantee a level of safety and quality.
Yeah, can we just get a close-up on camera 3 here? So if we take a look at this National Nightly News mug, you should see the mark just on the base of it there.
In the wake of the scandal, the government were praised for their swift response and bringing in this set of stringent checks in new products.
It certainly is good to know that someone's watching out for our families. When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Oh, sorry, I'm bursting.
Oh. She's very good.
Who?
Megan.
Yes, she is.
Watch your back, Jeremy. The women are coming.
I'm more worried about this water dipping onto my head.
Alex, Bozeman, we're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the sports board final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news. Bozeman out.
这声音很大声，算了，把它关了。
That's what it says.
Yes, I understand that, but I always say welcome back.
I think we should just keep it as it is.
Well, of course you do. I've got one hack line.
What's that supposed to mean? I didn't write it, Jeremy.
That's all right, fine. Jenny, there's something wrong with the auto cue.
10 seconds.
Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
Want to see us fry? It's good for the ratings.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan, you joined me live here for the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Ellie Striker. She's the more experienced of our two players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the Iranki hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending, it's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the Fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part. Still going on. Striker goes first. Striker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin. Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brain. Stupid. Eddie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not after last time. On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball. Not a bad shot there from Harris.
什么东西啊
For shots number 3. All right.
我看没懂什么东西啊
She's gone to sort of throwing it under her legs. Not bad if you ask me.
Don't know why you can
To Harris. Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
Stop ball. Move back.
I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start there for Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope that round 2 treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the argument with the ref section, it's time to change ends. Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course, now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense. Striker giving it large.
Second round, Harris.
Winter round 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streak on the pitch. I apologise if we broadcast any of that stuff. She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arse. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult, and I'm struggling to follow. Because it's quite an eyesore, and women's body, yeah. All right, great. Okay, so back into round 2 now, and Harris absolutely determined to close that massive gap. Eddie Striker. No, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that the defensive thumb screw? We haven't seen that since the heats. What a brilliant move. Back to Striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound. Play here on both sides of the bucket.
在干什么
I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the texture absolutely blooming, jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course. It is a game of 2 halves, 4 rounds and 7 subgenres. But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Remington Smith.
On my whistle, on my whistle.
Must be some music here to start the... Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dance interlude there. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face. Security's on it. And the bucket has been knocked over! I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying around for all to see. Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television. And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again.
Final poses. Ball boy cannot be in the final pose.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these 2 players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't. Thank you.
Thank you.
Not bad. So that ball boy's giving me the eye all day. I don't know what's going on there. Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around. Back to Harris here. Oh, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. I'm all right, ladies. Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because of course if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket. Back to striker. And striker's gone for the animal ball. And yes, Harris has countered with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course, we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mud. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame.
Harris receives possession now.
Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. So, here we go. Tommy Harris. That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact. Caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nerves get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I can be doing about this. I mean, sort of breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much you can do. They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters, hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. Nonsense is going on here. Yes.
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters, absolute wasters. Oh, jog on!
This is the mine round.
It's an absolute bloody... Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a mime round. Who could believe it? Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go anywhere at this point. Really high-level play here from 2 absolute juggernauts of the sport.
Hold.
The bucket getting moved back to its proper place. About time, if you ask me. She's juggling it around from her hands. And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's and she spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there, quite late on.
Illegal spit.
From Striker. But she's in it to win it. On it like a car bonnet. Tommy Harris here, having a bit of beef. And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with Harris. And he's throwing it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official.
Contestants in, please. And the winner of the first annual Sports Board Championship is... everyone!
Okay, the ref has agreed once again a win for everyone, including me as my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals, their 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon. Looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all that's left to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon there had an extraordinary final.
Historic sports board, Jeremy.
I didn't know you were a fan.
Oh yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
When we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone struck me. What? Fucking microphone just struck me. Where's that sound guy?
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
Boozman again. Just heard from the chaps in maintenance that this storm is causing the odd power surge. Some of your controls might be a bit, dangerous. Now, I know you're tough and you can take the odd shock for the sake of a perfect news broadcast,
seem to have sprung
开始漏电了，开始漏电了，
several, actually.
You're going to need a whole new
开始漏电
line
了。
there. Triple super.
We'll look into it, Minister. It's so good to see you again.
Miss Wolf, your star seems to be in the ascendant.
It's a great time to be alive.
Too bloody right, Peter Clement.
Megan Wolf.
My, but that's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here, with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet. Is your seat down?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine. Have you had a little accident?
Chissy cow.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whinges.
People who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
Someone's tripping on me.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Oh, okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yep, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera
Oh,
there.
sorry, it's camera format.
When I was 13, my mum came and got me from school. He had to go to the hospital. My granddad, he'd collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. We were all frail and pale. And I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope, 3 days later he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching the cricket. We wouldn't need to wait till
我靠，吓到！
Sounds,
it was awful. It were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. They could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away. And he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't, or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they've run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline.
Just giving me electric shock.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I think it's from my asshole.
Are we still on the air, Peter?
No, yes. Sorry. My apologies. Oh.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sorry, I've got sapped again. Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, face, fucker! That one was massive. Right, no, this bastard's coming off.
That the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of... with a rusty twat!
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Right, yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board Final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name is Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
Alright, good job everybody.
Oh my god.
So they just... I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's my nephew, so we transition.
Oh my god. 还得混气啊！还得混气啊！我的天哪！广播完成，新挑战已解锁，惊悚直播秀 DLC。啊！天哪！哇！刚刚因为一个下雨然后这个主角好像疑似就是在操作这个仪表的时候有触电的状况，所以在最后的地方就是突然就是因为触电，所以好像疑似昏倒的这样子。对，就是这样。好的，我先做个存档哈。时间来到了晚上10点14分，各位现在来到的是我的小俊的这个游戏频道这样子。那今天我们先直播到这里，我们下个礼拜我们再继续来玩这一款游戏这样子。我看能不能把它的一些主故事把它给打完这样子，好吗？感谢各位收看，那我们就先来下播咯。11点15分，我们现在就来下播。
Well, that's a very blunt.
好的，非常感谢各位来收看我们今天的直播后。那这一款叫做 notforbroadcast， 就是不予播出。那它这款游戏呢，就是一款就是它能说是一个叫做一个导播这个导播角色扮演的游戏这样子啦。对，那这款游戏它是在2020年的时候推出的，那中间有经过疫情啊，还有一些的，所以它有出现一个相关的一些更新啊，一些 DLC 这样子。那如果各位喜欢玩的话呢，也可以自己买来玩玩看这样子，我觉得这款游戏蛮有趣的。那我们会在下个礼拜二会再继续这款游戏这样子，那希望各位可以喜欢，能够持续锁定这样子。我是小俊，我们下个礼拜二再见。等等我们会直接做这个就是会做降落的动作。那各位如果看到对方的主播之后呢，也不要忘记跟对方问好哦。好了，那我们就是先直播到这，我们下礼拜二同一时间，各位咱们再见啦，各位拜拜咯。